Hello, child of God. Welcome to my channel. My name is Elizabeth Olakani, and today we're going to talk about contentment. The question of the day is, are you content? Are you satisfied with who you are and the way God created you? So to get a better understanding of contentment, I would like us to go through a series of questions. Please answer honestly. Number 1, do you look to others to validate you? Number 2, do you get your identity from God or from others, or even yourself? Number 3, do you complain a lot? Number 4, do you feel jealous when you're around others? Number 5, are you hard to please or very critical? Number 6, do you worry often? And number 7, do you focus on the things that you don't have? If you answered yes to one or more of these things, you may struggle with contentment, but don't worry. We can all overcome this. So let's go into the Word of God. Philippians chapter 4 verse 11 says, "For I have learned in whatever state I am to be content." Paul is telling us two important things here. Number 1, contentment is learned. It's not something that we're all born with. And number 2, you can be content no matter what circumstance you find yourself. So whether you're going through a very difficult time or whether you're going through a joyful season, Paul is telling us we can be content. So to get a better understanding of this, I'm going to also read 2 Corinthians chapter 3 verse 4 and 5. It says, "And we have such trust through Christ towards God, not that we are sufficient of ourselves to think of anything as being from ourselves, but our sufficiency is from God." So Paul is telling us here that our sufficiency, everything we have, everything we are, is from God. So to get true contentment, we have to look unto God. Get a deeper understanding of contentment. I want us to go through the life of someone called John the Baptist. John the Baptist was the forerunner of Jesus Christ. He came before Jesus, telling people about the Messiah's coming. He made it very clear that that was his purpose. I'm going to read John chapter 3 verse 25 to 30. It says, "Then arose a dispute between some of John's disciples and the Jews about purification. And they came to John and said, 'Rabbi, he who was with you beyond the Jordan, to whom you testified, behold, he is baptizing, and all are coming to him.' And John said to him, 'A man can receive nothing unless it has been given to him from heaven. You yourself bear me witness that I said, I am not the Christ, but I have been set before him. He who has the bride is the bridegroom. But the friend of the bridegroom, who stands and hears him, rejoices greatly because of the bridegroom's voice. Therefore, this joy of mine is fulfilled. He must increase, but I must decrease." What can we learn from John the Baptist? We can learn that everything we have comes from God. For he says in verse 27, "A man can receive nothing unless it is given to him from heaven." John understood that his position, his authority, even his followers came from God. So to be truly content, you have to understand that everything you have, your money, your clothes, your hair, your job, everything, it comes from God. Number 2, John did not compare his ministry to the ministry of Jesus. So many of us compare ourselves to other people. I wish I could talk like him. I wish I could do this like her. I wish I was taller. I wish I was richer. All these kind of thoughts come to our mind. We begin to compare ourselves to other people. John does not compare his ministry even when others were telling him that the person that you baptized last week, he's getting more followers. John did not pay any mind to them. Number 3, John did not listen to others to get validation. He understood that his validation came from God. John the Baptist understood who he was. He understood why he came to the earth, and he was doing it with all of his heart. And number 4, John understood it was God working in him. That's why he said that he must increase, but I must decrease. The moment you understand that it's God that is working in you, it is God that has blessed you, it's God that is enabling you to do all that you can do, that's when true contentment is. And number 5, John was content because he said, "Therefore, this joy of mine is fulfilled." So to be content, you have to be happy for other people. The more angry you are, the more you look into people like, "Oh, who is she or who is he? Who does he think he is?" And you have that kind of attitude, then it's going to be very difficult for you to be content. Instead, learn to be happy for people. Learn to be thankful for who they are and the way God created them. And the more you appreciate the glory of God in other people, you begin to appreciate yourself and the way God created you. Thank you for your time today. I'm very blessed to be able to share the word of God. See you guys next week. Remember, Christ is the everlasting wealth. The deeper you go in Him, the more He reveals to you. See you next time.